I'm a 28-year-old guy, and my girlfriend, Sophia, 26, and I have been together for roughly 2.5 years. We share a 2-bedroom apartment that we moved into about 8 months ago. Generally, I believed our relationship was strong, though we've hit some rough patches recently that I thought we were addressing. Most of our disagreements revolve around communication and social plans. Sophia often makes arrangements without consulting me or signs us up for events I'm not particularly excited about. These felt like minor issues, just part of navigating a relationship. Sophia's closest friend, Violet, is tying the knot next weekend. Sophia has been deeply involved in the wedding preparations for nearly a year, serving as a bridesmaid. Violet and Sophia have been tight since their second year of college, so this wedding is a massive deal for her. She's been talking about it nonstop for months, and I've tried to be supportive, even though the constant wedding chatter was starting to wear me down. Here's where things get tricky. Sophia was in a serious relationship with a guy named Noah, 27, for about 3 years during college, covering most of their junior and senior years and a bit after graduation. From what Sophia has shared, it was a significant relationship. They even lived together during their final year of college and discussed moving to the same city post-graduation. They split up about 3 months before Sophia and I started dating. She insists the timing was unrelated and that their relationship had fizzled out long before the official breakup. Noah and Sophia stayed friends afterward, which has always made me a bit uneasy, but I've tried to handle it maturely. Sophia says they share a college friend group, and cutting him off would be awkward and unnecessary. She describes their breakup as mutual and friendly, claiming they're better as friends. I've met Noah a few times at group gatherings, and he seems like an okay guy, polite, never rude or strange toward me. But there's something about how he and Sophia interact that bothers me. They share inside jokes and memories, and sometimes their conversations feel like I'm an outsider watching two people with a deep, shared history. About 6 weeks ago, Sophia received her wedding invitation and was thrilled, immediately calling Violet to discuss dresses and travel plans. The wedding is about an hour from where we live, so it's not a far-flung event, but Sophia was excited to make a full weekend of it. She'd booked a hotel room for Saturday night, or so I assumed, and talked about exploring the area on Sunday before heading home. 2 weeks ago, Sophia confirmed she wanted me as her +1. I was genuinely excited. I don't know Violet well, but she's always seemed kind and grounded. Plus, with work stress piling up, I thought a fun wedding weekend would help Sophia and me reconnect. But last Monday, Sophia came home from work and said she needed to discuss the wedding. I expected a conversation about logistics or outfits, but what she said next caught me completely off guard. She told me she'd been reflecting on the wedding and decided she wanted both Noah and me to attend because we're both important to her. She'd already spoken to Violet, who agreed to let her bring both of us as her guests. I was stunned and asked her to explain. She said she'd asked Violet if she could bring both her current boyfriend, me, and her ex-boyfriend, Noah, to the wedding, essentially turning her +1 into a +2. She'd arranged this herself. I just stared at her, trying to wrap my head around it. She'd deliberately asked the bride if she could bring both me and her ex to the wedding. I told her this made me deeply uncomfortable. First, it felt wildly inappropriate to ask a bride to accommodate such an odd request. Second, I couldn't imagine any scenario where being a co-date with her ex would feel normal. Third, I was embarrassed that she'd put Violet in the awkward position of agreeing to this. Sophia got defensive, insisting it wasn't strange at all. She said Violet was happy to make it work and that many people bring friends to weddings. She argued I was blowing it out of proportion. Sophia explained that Noah is close to Violet. They were part of the same college friend group, and Noah and Violet sometimes hung out without Sophia back then. She said Violet missed Noah after their breakup and considers him a friend independently. Sophia accused me of being insecure and said she thought I trusted her. She pointed out that Noah and I had gotten along fine at past events, like a group barbecue last summer where I'd even said he seemed nice. I explained that trust wasn't the issue, it was about what's appropriate. Even if Noah is a great guy and I trust Sophia, being her date alongside her ex would feel humiliating and strange. I couldn't imagine enjoying a wedding knowing guests might be speculating about our dynamic. Sophia called me dramatic, saying lots of people stay friends with exes. She even suggested Noah and I have things in common, like hiking, craft beer, and movies, and that we could become friends if I stopped seeing him as a rival. She accused me of trying to dictate her friendships and said she was disappointed in my lack of maturity. I took a deep breath and tried to clarify my stance. I wasn't trying to control her friendships or asking her to cut Noah out entirely, but being her +1 alongside her ex crossed a boundary for me, and it put me in an impossible position. I told her she needed to choose, bring me or Noah, but not both. Sophia got upset, saying I was forcing her to pick between her boyfriend and a friend. She said it was unfair, especially since Violet had approved the arrangement. She mentioned we wouldn't even be seated together. I'd be at the couple's table with other plus ones, while Noah would be at a singles table with Violet's college friends. We've been arguing about this for a week, revisiting it almost daily, usually after work or before bed. Sophia keeps saying I'm insecure and unreasonable, and that this situation exposes jealousy issues I need to address. She insists Noah is just a friend and that I should trust her judgment. But the more we've talked, the more uneasy I've become. I don't want to be a plus one shared with her ex. It feels disrespectful to our relationship, and it makes me wonder if Sophia has unresolved feelings for Noah. Her insistence on fighting for this, instead of prioritizing my comfort, is troubling. Yesterday, after another round of this argument, Sophia announced she's taking Noah to the wedding instead of me. She said since I'm being stubborn, she'll bring him, and I can stay home. This way, she won't have to deal with me acting weird around Noah, and he won't feel uncomfortable because of my attitude. I said fine, but her choice spoke volumes about her priorities. She countered that I forced her to choose and complicated a simple situation. She said if I'd been more open-minded, we could have all had fun together. Now I'm questioning if I mishandled this. Some mutual friends think I should have just dealt with it for one night since it's so important to Sophia. The wedding is this Saturday. Sophia left this morning to help Violet with final preparations, including a rehearsal dinner tonight where Noah will likely be. She's staying at Violet's until after the wedding. She's barely spoken to me since our fight, and this morning, as she packed, the atmosphere was tense and distant. I'm torn between feeling like I stood up for my boundaries and worrying I ruined Sophia's experience at her best friend's wedding over my insecurities. Am I wrong for refusing to attend under these circumstances? Should I have just sucked it up for one night? Comment 1. You're not wrong. Sophia choosing her ex over you for the wedding reveals her priorities. No one in a committed relationship would think it's normal to ask a bride to bring both their current partner and ex as guests. That she created this situation and then picked Noah when you, understandably, objected shows where you stand. My reply, thanks for this. Sophia's explanations make it sound so logical, like, Noah's just a friend, you know that, or Violet wants you both there. And I start feeling like I'm overreacting. But you're right. If a friend told me their girlfriend asked to bring both her boyfriend and ex to a wedding, I'd find it bizarre. I needed to hear I'm not crazy for thinking this is a boundary violation. Comment 2. Info needed. How often do Sophia and Noah hang out? Are you usually included? My reply. I've been reflecting on this a lot. They don't meet one-on-one often, maybe every couple of months for coffee or lunch, but they text frequently, and Sophia always invites Noah to group events like barbecues or birthday parties. What bothers me is I'm not always included in their friend group plans. A few months ago, they went to a concert with the college crew, and I only found out afterward. Sophia said it was just old friends and would have been weird to invite me, but Noah was there. I don't get why he's permanently part of the group, but I'm excluded from her current social life. I've raised this before, and she says I'm overthinking it, that Noah's friends with everyone, not just her. But if they didn't have a history, I doubt this wedding issue would have come up. She'd have just brought me. Comment 3. She's prioritizing her ex and guilt-tripping you for having reasonable boundaries. This isn't about trust. It's about respect. She's shown you how much she values you and your relationship. Don't let her convince you you're unreasonable. My reply. I hadn't considered manipulation until comments like this. Sophia's good at making me feel irrational during disagreements. She'll use this calm, logical tone to explain why my feelings are illogical, and I end up apologizing even when I think I'm right. Looking back, she did this with the wedding issue, presented it as a normal, practical idea, and called me dramatic for objecting. She said things like, I thought you were more mature, or I'm disappointed you don't trust me, making me feel like a jealous, controlling partner instead of someone with valid concerns. Part of me wants to call her and say I'll go with both of them, but these comments are helping me see my gut was right. This isn't normal, and I shouldn't have to accept it just because she says so. Update 1. The wedding was this past Saturday. I didn't go, as expected. Sophia left Friday morning to help Violet and stayed at her place that night. I spent Friday night at home, trying to distract myself with TV but feeling pretty low. I kept hoping Sophia would text and say she wanted me there, but she didn't. Saturday was tough. I knew the ceremony time and kept checking my watch, picturing what was happening. During the ceremony window, I went for a long run to clear my head, but I couldn't stop thinking about Sophia as a bridesmaid and Noah there watching. From Sophia's social media, the wedding went well. I probably checked her Instagram stories too much, but I was curious and a bit self-destructive. She posted pictures of herself and the bridesmaids getting ready. They looked stunning, and Sophia seemed genuinely joyful. There were ceremony photos showing the wedding party and reception shots later. Noah was in several reception photos, which hit hard. They were dancing together and sitting at what seemed like the same table, despite Sophia saying the seating would be different. They looked so comfortable together, like they fit, which made me question our entire relationship. Sophia came home Sunday evening around 6 p.m. I'd been dreading her return, unsure how our first talk would go. She was in a great mood, almost euphoric, talking about how beautiful the wedding was, how smoothly everything went, and how much fun she had reconnecting with old friends. She seemed more energized than I'd seen in months. She showed me photos, describing the ceremony's emotions, the food, the band, and how late everyone danced. She casually mentioned Noah was really fun and that they had great talks about life and work. She said he asked about me and seemed bummed I wasn't there. Then, while scrolling through photos, she mentioned she and Noah shared a hotel room Saturday night. I thought I misheard and asked her to repeat it. She said a bunch of the wedding party stayed in town since most hotels were booked due to a local festival. Noah had the last available room, and since she needed a place to stay, they shared it to save money. I asked why she didn't drive home with Violet and the bridesmaids as planned. She said the party got wild, and she didn't want to leave early. They went to a bar after the reception and didn't get back until 2 a.m. I asked if the room had 2 beds. She said no, just a queen bed. But Noah was a gentleman and slept on the floor. I lost it. I asked why she thought sharing a room with her ex was okay. Even if he slept on the floor, it looked awful and she should have found another solution. Sophia got defensive, calling me paranoid and controlling, insisting nothing happened. She said they're adults and friends, and it was a practical fix. She said if I trusted her, this wouldn't be an issue. I said trust wasn't the problem. It was about boundaries and respect for our relationship. Sharing a hotel room with an ex crosses every reasonable line in a committed relationship. Sophia said I was being dramatic and would have done the same with any friend. I pointed out Noah isn't just any friend. He's her ex, whom she chose over me for the wedding. She said that was a separate issue and told me to stop bringing it up. She accused me of being insecure about Noah and said I should work on my issues instead of policing her. We had a massive fight. Sophia said she doesn't understand why I can't trust her and that my jealousy is a problem. She said Noah has been nothing but respectful to me and I'm creating drama. I said she's been prioritizing Noah over me and our relationship, and the hotel room is just the latest example. Update edit. Some asked about the hotel logistics. I did some digging and found the festival Sophia mentioned was a small craft fair that ended at 6 p.m. Saturday. I called 3 hotels and they had rooms available that night. I haven't confronted Sophia about this yet, unsure if it proves anything or if I'm just desperate. Final update. This is my last update, as things have concluded, though not how I hoped. After my last post, I took a few days off work to process and decide my next steps. Your comments helped me see I wasn't being paranoid, Sophia's actions were inappropriate, and my feelings were justified. I reflected on our whole relationship and noticed a pattern of Sophia dismissing my concerns and making me feel irrational for having them. I'd gotten used to apologizing for feelings she deemed unreasonable. Sophia came home Tuesday evening after 2 nights at Katie's. She was in a strange mood. Not angry, but almost guilty. She tried making small talk and suggested ordering dinner, acting like everything was fine. But there was a tense vibe, like we were both waiting for something to break. I said we needed a serious talk about our relationship. Sophia immediately got defensive, hoping I wouldn't bring up Noah again, saying she was tired of my insecurities dominating our relationship. But I pushed forward, saying Noah's role was affecting us in ways we hadn't addressed. I mentioned the hotels not being fully booked. I asked why she lied about it, and it made me wonder what else she wasn't honest about. Sophia was silent for a moment, then said she didn't lie. She called one hotel, they were booked, so she assumed others were too. When Noah offered his room, it seemed simplest. I said even if true, choosing to share a room with her ex showed we had different views on boundaries. Then Sophia broke down crying. She said she didn't know how to explain without upsetting me. I insisted on the truth. She admitted she and Noah had been texting more than she'd let on, not just casual chats, but deep conversations about life, relationships, and college memories. It started months ago when Noah reached out after a tough breakup. I asked if she considered that emotional cheating. She said she wasn't sure, and that's what confused her. Talking to Noah felt familiar and comforting, like when they were together. I asked about the hotel room. She said they talked until 4 a.m. about life and their friendship, nothing inappropriate. Noah slept on the floor, but they'd cuddled on the bed while talking. I asked if anything else happened. She said no, but admitted Noah confessed he still had feelings for her. She told him she was with me but was confused about her own feelings. I asked what she meant. She said being with Noah at the wedding reminded her of how good they were together and she'd been wondering if breaking up with him was a mistake. She said she loves me, but isn't sure our connection is as strong as what she had with Noah. I asked if she wanted to break up. She said she didn't know and needed time to sort out her feelings. I told her it sounded like she wanted to explore things with Noah while keeping me as a fallback. She didn't deny it. At that point, I was done. I said I wasn't interested in being a second choice. If she needed to figure out her feelings for her ex, she could do it single. I said I deserve someone who's certain about me, not someone comparing me to their ex. Sophia cried harder, saying she didn't want to lose me and that our 2.5 years meant something. She called it a moment of confusion and said we could work through it. But I said she'd made her choice by having intimate talks with Noah and cuddling in a hotel room. Even if nothing physical happened, she'd been emotionally unfaithful, and the wedding was just the breaking point. I told her I'm moving out this weekend. Our lease means I'll lose my deposit, but I'm staying with my brother and his wife while I find a new place. Sophia begged me to reconsider, offering to cut Noah off completely. New number, social media blocks, anything I wanted. But I said it was too late. Even if she did, I'd always know she chose Noah over me and was emotionally unfaithful for months. Thanks for the support, Reddit. This has been brutal, but I know I'm making the right choice. Time to move on and find someone who truly wants me. Final edit. Many asked if Sophia and Noah are together now. This morning, a month later, Sophia posted an Instagram story of them having coffee, captioned, "Sometimes fate has a plan," with a red heart emoji. That answers that. I'm glad I trusted my instincts and left when I did.